friend. Welcome to the Fruitful Fertility Podcast. Do you want to better understand your body so you can get pregnant naturally? Do you find yourself up late at night Googling how to ovulate on your own or natural fertility tips? Do you feel lost on what your next step should be? Hey, I'm Tori, a registered nurse, Christian fertility coach, and your new TTC BFF. When I started my fertility practice, I realized how much the modern medical system was missing when it came to supporting women trying to get pregnant. I knew God had called me to this space to bridge that gap and provide more natural fertility support and education. With time and a little trial and error, I found a foundational way to assess infertility cases and get better results. In this podcast, you will finally understand how your body and fertility work, support to stay off that emotional roller coaster, and a proven strategy to improve ovulation and increase your fertility naturally. If you're ready to get started, drop those ovulation sticks and grab a pen because, girl, you look fertile to me. Inside our free Facebook community, which is called Natural Fertility Support for Christian Women, TTC group, you can search for it or use the link below to join us if you haven't done so already. But this week I had asked, what do you feel is missing from your fertility journey? And one response that was repeated was feeling seen and heard at your doctor's office, that you feel ignored, you feel overlooked, you feel like because your labs are normal, no one's really giving you any more input or helping guide you at all. And first, I just want to say, I'm so sorry you've experienced that. I feel like as women, the modern medical healthcare system has kind of pushed us to the side. We're dealing with lots of issues like heavy, painful periods or irregular periods and told that it's normal and kind of sent home with no help and no answers just to essentially continue to suffer or search the internet until we assume we have cancer from all our symptoms that we typed in Google, or to find more options, like way too many options and not know what to do. So it kind of creates this really upsetting, mentally exhausting cycle of I'm not being seen and heard. I don't feel important. I feel like there's no answers. I'm trying to find answers on my own. I don't know what to do and I feel lost. So I am so sorry, but I'm going to give you some tips today to help you overcome this, to help you find better options today. And I want you to listen all the way through this episode because I do have a little announcement at the end, which is part of this message, but I have some new news, some exciting news that I'm going to share with you guys that I think will really address this issue specifically. So without further ado, let's jump into these 4 tips I'm going to share with you. And the number one thing I want you to hear when this comes to not feeling seen or heard at your doctor is you do not have to accept it. That is the overall message. That is the one thing I want you to take away from this, the most important thing. You do not have to accept that. You deserve better, and you can find other options, which I'm about to speak on a little bit. But I just want you to hear me loud and clear when I say don't accept it. That's not acceptable. That's not what we're here for. We are here for better options. So number 1 is to find a new doctor. Keep in mind, your doctor works for you. I think we tend to put doctors on this pedestal, and thank goodness we have them, right? Like, I am not here to knock doctors. I am so thankful that we have doctors, so thankful for that outlet, but they work for you. They are there to serve you. So they are not this, almighty, better than you, you're wasting their time, you're taking up their time, they got better things to do person. They are someone that is there to serve you. And if you are not being served well, you go somewhere else. Think about if you were at a restaurant. If you were at a restaurant and you were getting really crappy service, you wouldn't go back to that restaurant. If you were working a job where you had a terrible boss and, terrible hours and terrible work conditions, you wouldn't stay there. And so it's the same for your doctor. You don't have to stay there. Your OB and the fertility clinic are not your only options. They're the most common options, and they're the options you will consider first, but they are not your only options. Which brings me to number 2, that there are other avenues. Now, I know getting another doctor, finding another doctor, worrying that you're going to have the same experience is probably what you're worried about, but I want to give you a few tips on how to decide which avenue you're going to go down and how that will help you not have that experience. So, for example, I have a friend, her and her husband are actively trying to conceive. He had a vasectomy long time ago, so they want to get it reversed, but they're kind of getting this pushback that it's not going to work. It's been too long, just this kind of negative component from their fertility doctor. So obviously they're trying to get pregnant. They go to the fertility clinic. They're seeing the guy that helps with fertility clinic, the urologist, and he would be the one doing the reversal. But what I reminded her of is that's not his specialty. There are doctors that do vasectomy reversals that's what they specialize in. So you're going to get a different answer and you're going to get a different experience for them. I want you to always think about whatever doctor, whatever health avenue you go down, that is their business model. So if they are a surgeon, they are going to offer you surgery. They are not going to offer you lifestyle modifications. If you see someone like me who is, more holistic and natural minded, I'm going to give you lifestyle changes to make. I'm not going to offer you surgery. I don't know how to do that. You don't want me doing surgery. So I want you to kind of look at your options through that lens of like, okay, I want someone who specializes in this. And if you don't know what you want them to specialize in, my biggest tip for you is to think about what you want, what kind of support you want, but also don't look at just your fertility. I want you to look at your next biggest symptom. As you've heard me say multiple times on this podcast, our fertility is just a reflection of our foundational health. All the other things that seem like they are not fertility related most certainly are. So if you're having, let's say, eczema problems, I want you to see a specialist for your eczema, because when we get to the root cause of what's going on with that eczema, that is going to boost our fertility. If you have thyroid issues, I want you to work with a specialist, someone who specializes in thyroid health, because that is going to immensely improve your fertility. So if you want just someone that's a little, you know that you want holistic help, you can look at a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, someone like me, a fertility coach, a nurse. If you want medications, you want IVF, you want IUI, that's the route you want to go. You want to go to a fertility clinic because that's their business. So think of what model you want. Consider the doctor's office like a business. Look at it through that lens. And if you have no idea exactly what you want, just focus on your next biggest symptom, whatever your biggest symptom is, and work on that, because that will improve your fertility and help you get answers for your fertility. Number 3 is be informed. So a lot of times we go in the doctor kind of, wanting them to give us answers, right? We're going to them because they are more knowledgeable than us, we assume, and we want them to give us the answers. We shouldn't have to do a bunch of research and come with our knowledge to, prove them one way or another or sway them one way or another. But it is helpful, extremely helpful, to be an advocate for your own health. No one is going to take care of you like you do. Nobody knows your body like you do. Your doctor or whoever you see will see symptoms on a page and they will assess that from their training, but they don't know you like you do. So be informed about yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition, but also be informed before you go into an appointment or a procedure. And I don't mean like Google all the things. I mean like a trusted source. So like coming to the free Facebook group and asking for experience or proof or an opinion. One thing, like for a perfect example, is with clients that are enrolled in Boost Your Fertility Blueprint, there is a list of labs to ask your doctor for. Because if you just go to the doctor and they're drawing labs, you don't really know what they're drawing or why they're drawing them. But if you know what lab markers will help you identify fertility issues, find that missing puzzle piece, then you go into that appointment a little more informed. You can say, hey, I have a list of labs I'd like for you to draw, and then can we talk about them? And they can go more in depth onto those. But if you don't know what labs you need to look at, then you don't know what's missing. Another great example is medications and vaccinations and those types of things, to be educated on the side effects before you just accept that that's the only option. Perfect example is letrozole. So you go to the fertility clinic, they're specialized in medicine and procedures. They're going to offer you letrozole to help you ovulate. What you may not know is that letrozole is actually a medication created for breast cancer patients. So depending on what type of breast cancer a patient has, it might feed off of estrogen. And so this medication is meant to be given to those types of with that type of breast cancer to keep their estrogen low, so the cancer has nothing to feed off of. Now, the off-label use, I mean, kind of like just a silly coincidence, is that it can also help women ovulate. So not a totally bad thing, but did they mention that it's actually for breast cancer patients? Did they mention that every time you take it, you're going to lower your estrogen because that's what the medicine was originally made for? Probably not. They may or may not. I don't know. But when you know that, you can go into it with a different mindset, and you may still want to do it. You may say, okay, I understand it's going to lower my estrogen, but at least I'm more informed. And when and if that happens down the road, I'm not blindsided and like, oh, why didn't they tell me? And I know it's hard. Like, what I don't want you doing is getting on Google and Googling all this stuff. So I know I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth when I'm like, be informed, but don't Google everything. And that really brings me to point number 4. I want you to get your information from a trusted source. And guess what that is? It's going to be my new membership. So this is the announcement. This is the thing I want to talk to you about. I have seen that there is a gap missing here. There is a hole in the fertility journey, in the fertility world, in the services you're offered and your options as someone trying to actively conceive in the most natural, God-honoring way. And I want to address that. So I have the course, Boost Your Fertility Blueprint, right? It's your step-by-step plan, gives you a checklist, has meal plans, has a workout, has all the good stuff in it. And I think it's really great, but it's just a course for you to go through on your own. And what I'm finding is you guys need more support. You need more interaction. You need more accountability. You need more hand-holding. And don't we all? Isn't it so much easier to achieve a goal and stay on track and be informed and feel encouraged when you're doing it with a team, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Boost Your Fertility Blueprint and we're going to kind of shake it up a bit. We're going to turn it into a monthly membership. We're going to turn it into a club where you get access to me. You can ask me questions. You can have a professional, holistic, evidence-based opinion on these things that you're going through that's going to keep you from spiraling through all the stuff on TikTok and Google. It's still going to have all that good information drip to you every other week. Like every 2 weeks, you're going to get a little bit more information because I also don't want you to get overwhelmed. But I'm going to give you things like labs you can ask your doctors for, and then you can ask me questions on the monthly call. So there will be a monthly call. It's a group call. We'll all get on Zoom together. It's a private, safe space just for members of the club. And you can get that piece that's missing, that being seen and heard, not dismissed, that being informed piece. So if you do, you may not even need other options. But if you do, you feel like you bring more to the table when you go in. You don't go in getting blindsided or letting them speak negative statistics over you or not understanding the risks that come along with the options available to you. Natural fertility support for Christian women is my specialty. So when we were talking about that, like you go down another avenue and you want to find someone who specializes in the type of care you want and the type of symptoms you're experiencing, that is what I'm here for. That is what I do. That is my passion. And so I want to bring this to you in a different format with a community to rally around you and a medical professional to listen to you, to see you. And someone who can also remind you that God is in this, to bring biblical truths into your fertility journey. So in my opinion, it's the best of both worlds. It's that scientific medical background mixed with our faith and the foundation of our fertility journey. So if you have felt like you need more support, you need answers, you need to be more informed, you want to understand, and you also need actionable steps to improve your fertility naturally, we're going to do it in the membership together. So this is going to be a low-cost monthly membership, make it really accessible to you, and I'm so excited. I feel like I've been so proud of Boost Your Fertility Blueprint. I'm really proud of the information in there, the resources in there. I think it's super, super helpful, but there's been something missing, and I think it's us walking together and doing it together. So I really want to do that with you. Those changes will be coming over the month of March. I don't have the exact details yet. So y'all are getting the first snippet of this. I'm not good at keeping secrets, and I just kind of want to include you in what's going on in the background too. So this will be official by the end of March. So be on the lookout for more information about that. What I am going to do is the first week of March, March 1st through the 8th. 1st through the 8th, so a week and a day. But the first 8 days of March, I'm going to give you the opportunity to enroll and boost your fertility blueprint the exact way it is, the price point that it is. But what's going to happen is if you do that, you're going to get lifetime access to this membership. That is going to be the perk. So you'll be enrolled in it when it's just a course, but as it transitions into the membership, you're going to get access to those monthly group calls with me, but you will have paid a one-time fee and not have to pay a monthly fee. So that is the perk, but that is only March 1st through 8th. So don't miss that opportunity. And then if that price point is too much for you, you will be offered by the end of March, you will be allowed to enroll at a very, very affordable monthly price. I'm very proud of that. I feel like that is something God has put on my heart, is that the fertility journey is so expensive and so hard. And I want to give you a resource that I feel like is a really, really good resource at a reasonable price. So that's been on my heart. That's another reason I'm really excited about this membership. I want to be in it with you in all the different ways. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's recap this really quick. If you are not feeling seen and heard at your doctor's office, here are your 4 tips. And that this is all under the umbrella of that is not acceptable. We do not accept that. We will not accept that. And here's what we're going to do about it. We're going to find a new doctor. We're going to understand that the fertility clinic and our OB are not our only options, and not everything they say goes. We're going to find other avenues, either based on specialty, the model that we most want, or maybe it's just our number 2 symptom or our number 2 thing we want to work on. Our fertility is number 1, we want to get pregnant, but what is the next health symptom we can work on? Because that will improve our fertility. Number 3, we're going to be informed. We're not going to get on Google and TikTok and go down rabbit holes, but we are going to do that with a trusted source, which brings us to number 4, which is to join the membership. I think it's going to be called Fruitful Fertility something. I haven't come up with a cool name yet, but we may just keep it simple. This is the Fruitful Fertility Co. podcast, and we may just call it the Fruitful Fertility Club. But whatever it's called, it's going to be the best way to have ongoing support, to feel seen and heard, to have good information, good evidence-based information from a medical professional, and a community to rally around you. We're going to do co-working pods. We're going to have partners. We're going to make it so easy to feel like you're not alone in this. And if you want lifetime access for a one-time price, you're going to go ahead and enroll and boost your fertility blueprint before March 8th. March 8th, it will change to the membership model. And I truly cannot wait to see you in there. Let me know what questions you have, and otherwise I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode touched your heart or taught you something, I'd be honored if you share it with a friend who could use the information too. And if you want to be the real MVP, then would you also take 30 seconds to tap those 5 stars at the bottom and leave a written review telling me what you're loving? It lights me up to know this podcast is really helping you. Don't forget, you're super cute and super fertile, so meet me back here next week and let's keep chatting and learning together.